Alright everyone, welcome back to some more Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. We have two more cases before we get more story related content. So what I'm gonna do, because they're both filler, pretty much, well, one of them not really, but you know, they kind of sit on their own. So what I'm gonna do is, it's gonna be kind of long, but I'm gonna do both of those in one episode and just knock them out the way. Because we're kind of on the home stretch as far as the story for this game is concerned, and I don't know, I can kind of smell the ending, so maybe I'm just anxious, but we're going to knock those two cases out in one episode. Or we're going to try at least. This bulletin board is packed with people's grievances. I hear strange groans during the night. I saw a monster shadow inside Nakano Broadway. Bizarre things are happening more and more. What's going to happen to us? That detective agency's got to be behind this. I'll just pretend I didn't read that last part. Hey, we've got another case to tackle. Hope you're ready for another day of hard... Hold on, what's this about that bulletin board? So people are saying this place is taking a turn for the even weirder. Alright. Sounds like the residents have a lot of pent-up frustration they're letting out now. We definitely aren't lacking in people who've got it out for us. Once you're a bad apple in their eyes, you're always one, even if you're innocent. Yep, just Axorata. Let's see what we can do to clear our good name. What do you say? Nakano's Legendary Busters. As you can tell by how many stars it has, it's pretty much just all talking. This is a case from the Broadway management. There are strange rumors in Broadway. Solve them with these guys. Hi. Hey there, May. You're early today. Of course. When we heard you had something intriguing to share with the club, how could we not rush on over? May, calm down. You sound a little overeager. Sorry, Detective. She's just a little worked up. That's May for you, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I see it's all the same gang from our Shibuya Hirosaka experiment earlier as well. Color me surprised to see you are all still part of the Occult Club. Takes guts to stay around after what happened in Shibuya. That's all on May. After that experiment, she really started devoting herself to running the club. She's practically on fire. Yep, I owe it to you all now that I know there really are strange mysteries like that lurking around in the world. Just don't say I didn't warn you if you get caught up in something serious one of these days. Oh, I'm doing this research precisely to prevent that from ever happening. You have to know what you're up against to survive. Everyone knows that. Anyway, I'm sorry to call you out here when you're so busy as it is. No, it's perfectly fine, I promise. When we hear the occult is afoot somewhere, we can't help but come running as fast as we can. That's our job as the Inoden Occult Research Club. Well, I appreciate your vigor. Still, that being said, Chokyo has more than its fair share of occult phenomena going on these days, so why bother coming over to our neck of the woods? Well, when you put it like that. Isn't it obvious? Nakano is leagues apart from anything else you could call an occult mecca around here. Exactly. I couldn't have put it better myself, Kenji. That's just what I'd hope from out of the vice president. Oh, May. Yeesh, Kenji, you're not exactly doing us any favors getting her all hyped up even more, you know. Well, what I said is still true. All sorts of weird, unusual things go down here in Nakano. I mean, there's the bleeding mural that's said to have blood gushing out of the mouths and eyes in the lobby of the first floor lobby. That was redundant. The lobby on the first floor lobby, for starters. Then there's the skeleton pool, home to a pile of abandoned corpses that turn into bones overnight. Rumor also has that late in the night there are people clad in white flying over the roof while holding a hidden sabbat? And then you've also got the mysterious fish rains that have poured down over Nakano for ages, foretelling imminent misfortune. All of those things remain unsolved, so naturally... Funny you should mention those specifically, because I actually solved them all already. What? You did? You already solved them? What's this already talk? This is my home base, and as a detective, if you tell me something weird is up, of course I'm going to look around. That's all long in the past. Oh. Why the long face? I didn't say this case wouldn't be up your alley. As for your reward this time around, how about I give you guys my file with all the so-called supernatural cases I've worked on? Oh then, of course we'll do it. Tell us more. That's the spirit. I fully intend to make use of your club's unique expertise for today's case. As we have already discussed, Tokyo has become a real hotbed for the supernatural, and it goes without saying that Nakano is no exception. The reports and complaints I've been getting from other tenants don't look to be letting up anytime soon, and so they've asked me to solve some. But even with my assistant on board, there are just too many for us to handle by ourselves. There are essentially 4 different odd phenomena going on around here, and I want you guys to solve with your passion and young sensibility. 4 oddities. Okay, go on. First, I want to figure out what's behind the 3-legged Matthew who wanders around these parts in search of something. Then I want you to look into the Kata who roams the floors of Nakano Broadway. After that, go look into the Reaper elevator which ascends from the basement to the 4th floor at 2 AM. And last but certainly not least, see what you can find out about the Master Tit-Tat, a spirit. Oh, these all sound great. This is going to be lots of fun to work on. I've given these legends their names based on eyewitness accounts I've heard. Now it's on you guys to solve Nakano's urban legends, alright? What do you guys say? Will you go for it? Okay, this is so exciting. I can't wait to get started. Everybody, we're heading to the K-Cafe to formulate our plan on the double. May, wait up! Those two sure can't contain themselves. Well, we better indulge them and head on over. Not like we have much of a choice. Don't think you get to take it easy now. You're joining up with them too. This might be a bit awkward to ask, but I've noticed your assistant kind of just zones out sometimes. Is everything alright? It's nothing too severe right now, but I can tell things are starting to get unstable with Sunny's body. Control over data is slipping. Really, Sunny seems to have even forgotten what's happened here. Well, now that we're well into the night, our time has finally come to spring into action. Since we're here, we might as well start on the 1st floor. We're going through every floor and checking whether these strange things are actually taking place, right? Right, since the reports of the 3-legged Matthew seem to center around this floor, we'll start with that floor. Or that for now and go from there. Alright, let's get to work. Quiz time. Who's the head of the Kuremi Detective Agency? I didn't even mean to click that off. I'm not going to bother responding now. Alright, basically, you go to each floor, you talk to everyone, and pretty straightforward. I figured out a little of the 3-legged Matthew's backstory, so get this. 30 years ago, there was this popular Anita doll whose clothes you could swap out. Matthew was another doll who was her ex-boyfriend. Originally, he was described as being her fiancé, but another male doll that showed up later, Lance, a diplomat, became popular. At some point, Lance and Anita got hitched and Matthew was relegated to the ex-boyfriend position. It turns out there's an epilogue of sorts to Matthew's story. After he lost Anita to Lance, Matthew went insane and attacked Lance, chopping his body up and sending the pieces to Anita. But things didn't go entirely according to plan when he tried to send the final piece to her, a single leg. Because as it turned out, Anita was putting Lance's body back together using forbidden dark magic. What Matthew did in response was attach that final leg to his own body, ostensibly in an effort to ensure Lance could never be revived. Ever since, he's apparently been walking around with much more difficulty on his 3 legs, roaming around here and there, forever searching for memories of the good old days he and Anita once had. Nobody back here. You know, I think Manaka and Kenji make for a cute pair, don't you? Oh, but don't tell them I said that, okay? I don't think you should go that way. I just get a weird... Okay. Nakano Broadway at night feels really creepy. I mean, during the day there are some floors I don't like visiting, but this is something else. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. Alright, then on to the 2nd floor. Now to turn our attention to Kata Kata. Well, time's a-wasting. Off we go. From what I can tell, Kata Kata is derived from the famous Teke Teke legend. Teke Teke is an apparition who lost her feet in a train accident. She can travel up to 150 kilometers per hour with just her arms, laughing as she pursues people. Kata Kata is therefore an altered form that Teke Teke came to adopt after many years. No, May, I didn't want to talk to you again. I wanted to talk to Kenji. The name Teke Teke supposedly comes from the sound she makes when she moves with her arms. So where does Kata Kata come from? I don't think anybody up against a spirit that could go 150 kilometers per hour would have any hope of escaping. If you bump into it, it's game over. Manaka's such a fraidy cat, but she still loves it when Kenji talks about occult stories all passionately and stuff. Nothing to report here either. Yep, let's make our way to the 3rd floor. What'll we run into up here, I wonder? Only one way to find out. Let's split up and get to work, everyone. Oh, you seem totally bored, Lily. You're just spouting weird stuff now. Hey, Manaka, how are things going with you and Kenji? How far have you two progressed? Tell me, tell me. What better time is there to talk about love than the middle of the night? If you happen to meet Kata Kata, she'll ask, need your legs, and if you don't give her the right response, she'll run off with yours. What's the right response? It's I'm using them right now. She's surprisingly cooperative, it turns out. Oh hey, I think I figured out why she's called Kata Kata. Kata Kata originally lost her legs after falling onto train tracks in Hokkaido, so maybe her name comes from the sound teeth makes when chattering. Why? Why isn't there anything special happening tonight? We've got one more floor to go. Surely there's something to find on the 4th floor. Come on, let's head for the elevator. Alright, come to us, O Reaper Elevator. Make thyself known before us. It's past 2 a.m. now. Why? Why isn't anything showing up? I called out to it and everything, but there's no sign of it appearing at all. This sucks! I hate it! I just want to see the Grim Reaper at least once in my lifetime. Is that too much to ask? May, it's okay. There's still hope. Just keep it together. Wow, I never took her to be the type to throw a tantrum when things go poorly. May, we're getting worried about you. Why don't we take a little break at the K Cafe? When we met up earlier yesterday afternoon, the owner said it was fine to use it as a break room. It shouldn't be locked. She's not going to listen to reason. I'm in favor of it. I'm beat. I could use a rest after all that investigating. We can't. There's still Kotsu to check. We have to check everything again, top to bottom. There has to be something here. I just know it. Alright, we get it. Let's just go inside K Cafe for a bit so we can reassess the situation. Sound good to you? There's nothing here. No ghosts, no spirits, nothing. Nothing. Oh, cheer up. Since when does the good stuff ever happen on the first day you do this sort of work? Oh, I just want to see Matthew, Kata Kata, the Reaper Elevator, and Master Tip Tap. It's okay, May. Really, I'm sure something will come along soon. Really? You sure? Eep! Huh? What's wrong? Don't you guys hear it? You're right. Is that the elevator? Maybe it's Kyoko. But she's not the only resident here. Who could it be? Wait, maybe it's a cop. That sound just now. Did the elevator just arrive on this floor? It must have. It's the Reaper elevator. It came. I knew it was real all along. Oh my god, that sound. Is that Master Tip Tap? But now it's a different sound. Don't tell me it's... Wait, was that somebody's voice? Well, what's going on? What are you kids doing in here? We could ask the same question. Why are you here so late? Late? Missy, it's morning already. I always come in here to relax around this time. Huh? But it's not even 4 yet. Well, actually, it makes sense. My grandpa tends to get up really early too. Oh, I get it now. That's why the K-Cafe owner has this place unlocked. It's so the guy can use it. Hey, Sonny, what's wrong? Huh? Wait, am I seeing what I think I am? Is that a third leg? What are you blathering about now? Those dentures, are they making that chattering noise because they're misaligned? You also came from that elevator, which would make you the Reaper. Hey, who are you calling a Reaper? Then the tapping sound must have come from... No, you mean to tell me that this old guy is the one behind all the local urban legends here? You have to be kidding. Oh. May's mournful cries could be heard all throughout the building that night. So it looks like you guys came through and solved all of the mysteries. I couldn't have asked for a better end result than what you found out. What's so good about it? It was all just because that old guy takes early morning walks. Perhaps, but as they say, truth is stranger than fiction. Get real here. Who could have ever seen any of this coming? Let me ask you something. While you were out running around solving mysteries, what were you picturing inside your head? Did you see things in pitch dark? Did you hear things in deafening silence? Personally, in my opinion, I'd say such strong human imaginations are key to engaging in supernatural research. I feel like I kind of get it, but I don't at the same time. Those are just my own thoughts on the matter. Don't read too deeply into them. Hopefully, having reached the conclusion that you guys have, it's given you some things to think about individually. Now, as promised, I believe I have my files to hand off to you as your reward. Those won't be necessary. We'll solve those other mysteries ourselves through our own efforts. Our own efforts and our boundless passion and imagination. Oh, that's a fantastic attitude to have. Wow, Kenji, that's actually kind of cool of you to say that. Perhaps I was out of line then. If you insist that much, then I won't worry about it. Oh no, we'll still gladly take them off your hands, Detective. What are you saying, May? Haven't you been paying any attention to what's going on? So? Do you mean to tell me that you're not even a little interested in what's inside those files? Really, Manaka? Well, maybe just a little. If you aren't, then I'll go... Oh, excuse me. Then I'll go ahead and read them by myself. Hey, that's no fair. Man, and here I was thinking I was acting cool for once, too. Oh, Kenji, you did great. Don't let this get you down. Just try harder next time. Well, I'm going to take off now. Catch you two later. Looks like it's just the two of us again, Sonny. I didn't expect them to run off with only one of my files. Either way, we can report back to the other tenants that those issues have been taken care of. Hopefully that'll improve our standing a little. Those Occult Club kids are something, though. They're growing up so fast. Maybe one of these days they'll start to be friendly rivals of yours. That'll be fun, right? What makes me drag my old bones out here every morning, I wonder. This place feels really nostalgic to me for some reason, but I can't pinpoint the reason why. What the... Miko. It's always interesting how mysteries often lead and tie into one another, but I digress. Great work as always. Get ready for another case soon. Alright, we're gonna be doing another case right now. Ah, here he is. Oh, it's you, huh? Do you know what I am? Because I don't. I don't feel anything at all. Not a thing. What happened? What? Pete disappeared in front of you? Just come back here for now. A new case just came in that's cause for concern. It could be related to what you just witnessed. Ghost Cat Building. I have been looking for so long. My Miko, my poor cat. Please find Miko. This case comes in from Old Man Mizushima. You might remember him as the one behind those 4 urban legends you recently investigated with the Occult Club members. It well and truly is a small world out there, even when it feels bigger than ever in some ways. Anyway, he taxed us with tracking down his cat. Frankly, during times like this, there's something to be said for a down-to-earth gig like this one. Mizushima said he'd be waiting for you at the K-Cafe, although he didn't actually state when. It wouldn't hurt to go on ahead and check things out at the cafe, so go do that. It feels like it stopped. I wonder if it was an earthquake. Welcome. Grab a drink, have a seat, and stay as long as you like. An earthquake? No, I didn't feel anything of that sort. So Old Man Mizushima's not in right now. Alright. You originally met him there early in the morning, right? Might as well come back around the same time and see if he shows up. The next day, early morning. Let's head for the K-Cafe. Old Man Mizushima should hopefully be there at this hour. Oh, it's you again. I've been waiting, you know. You stopped by yesterday afternoon but couldn't find me. You must have just had bad timing, kid. I've been waiting here forever for you. What's done is done. Let's just let bygones be bygones and start searching now. My Miko, you see he's inside this wall here. Are you at K-Cafe right now? I'm picking up readings of a really strong digital wave vibrations from the 4th floor. It's a really huge current coursing through there. My money's on that old time capsule being the cause of them. What's that? An earthquake? No, I can confirm it's definitely not. There's no movement here on the 1st floor. You're just sensing the intense digital wave. It's... I don't want to know. It's better not knowing. Things are fine just as they are now. It's better if they don't change. Please stop. Don't wake me up from this. It's Miko! No, I'm Pete. Whatever you are, Miko, just come back to me. No, I can't. That's too much to ask of me. I'm not... Sonny, please, leave me alone. Let things stay just the way they are. I'm sorry, Miko. I'm sorry. Did I finally get through to you again? The vibrations have stopped for now, but the digital waves are still intense as ever. There's something big brewing in there. As I suspected earlier, they're coming from that old vacuum tube computer inside the wall. The digital waves are just gushing out of there from the old intranet lines that the computer is hooked up to. So much so, in fact, that they're forming a cybernetic ley line, a digital line of sorts. If this thing persists, it's only a matter of time before its effects are felt in the real world. Sonny, I need you to go inside that vacuum tube computer and do what you can to stop it. I'm counting on you. Please let me be. Don't wake me from this dream. What's going on with Pete? Only one way to find out. Wait, no, I wanted level 3, no. Do you know the game Red Light, Green Light? Let's play my show. Damn, everyone wants to play Red Light, Green Light. Why? Why do you have to know who I really am? No response. Let's find Pete. So I believe there's like five data files, and you gotta read them all to progress the case. So we're gonna go do that. I think you go to this one first. This one all the way up at the top left. Nakano Broadway Construction, Part 1. Construction plans for Nakano Broadway, hereby abbreviated as NB, were announced in 1959, ultimately taking 7 years to complete. The reason for the lengthy duration was due to a major issue that routinely manifested throughout the process. During land leveling, underground water leaked, resulting in an immediate halt to any and all work within the area. A large lake formed and the site was left alone for a long time. Mysteriously, large fish appeared en masse, attracting fishermen. Records also indicate people bathed in there in large numbers and that a child at one point drowned in the lake. Today, something terrible happened. A strange Digimon appeared in the middle of my bed. It was so cold in there. Even when I tried calling out for help, nobody came for me. But these two detectives eventually showed up. Kyoko and Sunny. Sunny asked me who I was, but I said I didn't know. So Kyoko gave me a name. She decided to call me Pete because I'm some sort of time capsule. Yep, Pete, that's my name. It made me so happy to have one. Names really are special things to have. Every time I see this firewall, I think of Pseudo. Nakano Broadway Construction, Part 2. No blueprints exist for an NB. 1961 saw the Japanese government commence its income doubling plan in order to re-energize the post-war economy. In tandem with unemployment policies, public works projects flooded the country, with major construction companies allotted huge budgets. Around 1962, one such project, the main route for the Shuto Expressway, was completed ahead of schedule. It was at that point that attention turned back towards Nakano Broadway. Idle laborers and resources were funneled into the area from central Tokyo, at which point work on the building commenced in earnest. It's likely that there wasn't time to even think of preparing proper blueprints for Nakano Broadway at that stage. Yoshito really likes this girl named Fuyume Yuki. He always sits me on his lap and tells me all about her. Everything is perfect about her, he says. Her singing, her dancing, her looks, everything. He says she's 1 in a million among idols. I can't do any of those things. I can't sing and I can't dance. But what I can do is curl up and fall asleep on Yoshito's lap. I love doing that. I also love hearing Yoshito talk to me so happily. Here's one. Part 3. With no blueprints to draw upon, concrete was poured and rebar was erected, tailored to the land around the site. When construction was concluded 4 years later, the final building had 3 underground floors, as well as 10 floors above ground. East Asia's greatest commercial building was therefore constructed on little more than sheer willpower. However, this came at a cost to some aspects of NB's integrity. The escalator, for instance, only connects the first 3 floors. Most of the underground floors have also gone unused in the ensuing years. Such quirks are a direct result of the circumstances surrounding the building's inception. Yoshito told me that he and his son had been to a world fair once. He said that the line to see the moon rocks was really long, so long that it made them tired, but he said his son still had a good time. People call me Yoshito Chief Mizushima. His full name is Yoshito Mizushima. Yoshito is a big, important man in the computer room, so he doesn't get to go out with his son much. He's glad that he got to see the World's Fair. I wish I could have seen the World's Fair with Yoshito too, but he and I are always together in the computer room. So that's okay, I'm content. Wait, what on earth? Oh my goodness, it was right there. Alright, part 4. In most cases, large commercial buildings are run by their owners who control everything from PR to tenants to internal whatever that was. BW was an exception for that rule. From the very start, shop and residential spaces alike were sold piecemeal. People who bought their real estate inside the building were then free to utilize it however they pleased. Because of this, soon after NB opened, shop owners and residents started remodeling work on their respective stores and apartments. In the end, this meant that formal blueprints for NB weren't drafted until 8 years after that building was originally completed. Even in those early days, the building's layout had already become too unwieldy for anyone to fully grasp at that stage. Yoshito always has me sitting on his lap, petting my head all nice and gently. I love Yoshito. Yoshito always calls me Miko. Miko is a girl's name, but Yoshito gave it to me, so I love it. Actually, let me get this treasure chest first. Nakano Broadway Construction Part 5. The basement of Broadway once housed a vacuum tube computer within its walls. It had been brought into the building after the end of World War II by war criminals who evaded arrest, shielded from the prying eyes of MacArthur's GHQ. The vacuum tube computer's purpose in those days remains a mystery. It's possible it could have been utilized for things such as mathematical computations or code breaking, but such speculation is unconfirmed. As time went on, there was eventually nobody left to carry on the originally purpose set forth for the terminal. At that point, the computer was apparently buried inside a wall somewhere. It's dark in here. All dark, I can't see a thing. I'm okay being in the dark. I'm not scared of it or anything, but it's never been this dark before. Yoshito's not here. I don't even smell him. I can't go back outside. Yoshito, where are you? Yoshito. Yoshito! Please sit me on your lap and pet my head again. Yoshito. Yoshi-to. Now you know. Now you know who I really am. I'm... So it's begun. Though I have to say this is a bit more than what I bargained for. If this keeps up, the building's gonna collapse for sure. Who am I? Somebody, anybody, tell me. Oh, there he is. Please, who am I? Now, if you get the answer wrong, he will fight you, and I'm just gonna warn you, he's actually pretty tough for a baby-level Digimon. Okay, the correct answer is Miko, I believe. Yeah, that's right, my name is Miko. Yoshito is my friend. Pete is your friend. Yoshito calling out for me. He's been looking for me this whole time. He found me. Yoshito. Whoa, looks like the tremors have stopped, just in the nick of time, too. That's my assistant for you. You've done well. Now I don't have to worry about any broken coffee cups. Miko! Miko! It's really you! Yoshito, I'm so sorry. You've been waiting for me for so long. I'm the one who should be apologizing here, Miko. I'm the one who left you alone this whole time. I'm so sorry, my friend. No, it's okay, really. You don't have to be sorry. I know you've been waiting for me since the day you had to go. Oh, Miko. Thank you. If it wasn't for you, I'd have never lived to see Miko with my own eyes again. I should probably explain. You see, back when the vacuum tube computer room was still around, I lived here in this building, away from my family. That computer room was where I used to work. The only family I ever had with me that whole time was Miko here. I talked with Miko about everything there. My memories of my family, Fuyume Yuki, anything to help keep my loneliness at bay in there. He would join me in the computer room and we spent many hours together over the years. Eventually, they closed down the room and sealed the whole thing off with a thick wall, like it was never there to begin with. It was around that time that I lost Miko too. I couldn't find him wherever I looked. I have a bad feeling about where he might have ended up and came back here who knows how many times to rescue him. But in the end, I couldn't do anything for him. I gave up and over time nearly forgot about him. Before I knew it, it had been decades since we'd last been together. I can't thank you enough for making this happen. We couldn't have been reunited without you, kid. Thank you so much. Now we can go back to living together again. Thank you. I'll never ever forget this day. I see, nice work. I can only imagine how hard it was, but you really did a good job. So our Pete was actually a cat named Miko, sealed deep inside a wall along with that old vacuum tube computer from the American occupation days. And somehow, using the building's intranet, or rather the power of its ley line, he merged with the computer and became a Digimon. That old cat's had a hell of a life, wouldn't you agree, Sonny? We can't say for sure what the actual assimilation process entailed, but at this point we know better than to doubt it happened. It's amazing just how much and yet how little the digital and real worlds are siphoned off from one another. I imagine the reason Pete showed up after all those years is because of the digital wave abnormalities we've seen. But you know, there's still one little thing about the whole story that bugs me a little. You mentioned towards the end, Old Man Mizushima said now we can go back to living together again, right? What do you think he meant by that? Not only that, but in the case you solved earlier where he was the one behind the urban legends, how did he keep breaking into the building? Let's assume for the sake of the argument that he somehow had access to the entrance and let him come and go at the timing he did. If he'd physically been getting into the building so much that way that he was being reported, you'd think something would have gone differently. Got any theories you'd like to propose? Yoshitu Mizushima. If we looked into his backstory, we might be able to find our answers pretty easily. What do you think? Should we dig a little more? Nah, please leave us be. Don't go looking for us. That's understandable. Then it's probably best we do indeed let sleeping dogs lie. Alternatively, we could let the Occult Club kids know about this. I bet they'd have a real field day going after this. I mean, they came face to face with a real... You know what? Nah, let's keep it to ourselves. Not all mysteries in this world need to be solved. Nakano Broadway brings many things together. The spirit world and the world of the living, the normal and the surreal, and now the physical and the digital. Truly, nothing is impossible in this crazy hole in the wall we call home. It's over. It's finally over. We get a memory up. Whoa, it looks like it's just you and me again here. The couches look so empty without Pete around. We better get more clients to keep them warm. Alright, even though Kyoko still says it's going to take some time before we're ready for Examon, if you walk outside, more story-related events happen, so I'll get into that next time. I'll see you guys then.